What's up, HoopRipz? Welcome to episode 18. It's your host, Erik Mendoza, and with me, as always, Mike Umscheid. Hello, Mike. Repping USA 1990s basketball. Nice. How are you?
1992, man. My birth year. Remember like it was yesterday, the dream team. It's crazy.
Great day.
Yeah, it was a great day.
Great day, 92. And Ryan, rocking Antisocial Social Club. Shout out to them. How are you, man?
What's up, dude? How you doing, Doz?
Hey, good. Ryan and I played a little Call of Duty
Doz,
last night.
if we ask you, okay, listen, man, if we ask you how you're doing and you just give us some answer like good, I'm good. We're not going to ask you anymore, man. We're going to stop asking you.
I'm pretty sure you just said you were good when I asked you.
Yeah, but it's not about that. It's about you, Doz.
Okay. I'm doing great, Mike. As you know, just got a little workout in, got a little protein shake, dropped the dog off at the vet.
All right, not too much, Doz.
All right, sorry. What else you want to know, man? That's it? Just say good next time, Erik.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, good's actually good.
What not good was me and Ryan getting freaking bodied last night. Ryan, I believe, had a little rage quit last night.
No, I went to like leave the game because C-Train loves staying and watching like the kill cam.
Oh my gosh.
I don't like that. I don't want to see again me dying.
I know what happened.
Like I fucking lived it, yo. Like get me out of this shit. So I went to lead the party and I left. I went to lead the game with the party, but I left without the party. I wasn't mad. I had fun. Honestly, we played pretty well.
We did play pretty well.
I think we got pinched. What happened was we got into instant action, like off the rip. And I would say for the most part, we had a lot of success, like wiping teams. It's when we got third partied. Like that's where we get kind of in a sticky situation and just get unlucky, getting sniped from behind, getting shot from behind. Like that's what happened. But for the most part, if we wanted to play slower, I bet we could have went deeper to the game. But there was a lot of kills, man. We killed a lot of people.
It was a lot of kills.
It wasn't
Oh man, it's a good time. But we didn't even sniff a final circle. But we probably put up at least double-digit kills as a group. But it's a fun time. Little Call of Duty. If you know anything about HoopRipz, you know that the word rips has a lot of meaning for us. We have, ripping nets, playing basketball. Love the game, obviously. Ripping packs, love ripping some cards. We'll get into that today. And we've been known to rip in a little Call of Duty from now and again, especially Ryan.
We like the thought of ripping.
Yes.
We like the thought of it.
So this is HoopRipz, man. Welcome to the show. Episode 18 is here. I got to say some legal stuff since we're on YouTube now, but the views and opinions expressed by me, Mike, and Ryan are our own and do not express the views of our employers. Is that true, guys? Do you agree? Everybody say yes.
Especially from me. I think I want to
especially no company wants
especially for Ryan.
No one wants my butt takes.
All right. Well, that's that. Like past couple episodes, we're on YouTube now. I believe we have 10 subscribers. We want to make it to 25, the big 25, and then we want to make it to 69, and then we want to make it to 100. So if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, go hit us up, HoopRipz. To blast.
Those are our checkpoints.
Those are the checkpoints, man. Those are the checkpoints. You get to see our lovely faces. Today we're actually going to rip open some card packs. We got some NBA hoops, Panini, America, premium stock, hanger boxes to open up. Show them us. Hold up, Brian.
Watch the disappointment on our faces when we open them.
Hoops Premium. I got to turn this light off. So I'm actually going to bring, when we do it, I'm going to actually bring in my phone on like a tripod. So that way you can kind of see it firsthand and not see how it's like kind of backwards, which I kind of hate.
Yeah. No, it's right. But it's good for us.
No, it's good. You're good.
So I think
for us.
I think for me, it's insane. For me, I think hangers are bangers. That's what what we say in the industry, because there's always a lot of heaters in these. I opened a few last night and pulled some Zions and Jaws and some silver Embiids and some Stephs, like really good stuff. So I still think this is the best value on the market right now. This is the inaugural edition. It's always been the cheaper stuff in previous years, stuff like this. Interesting. Who I pulled out? Dame Butter.
Dame Dollar.
So anyway, this is
dropping a 40 piece last night.
I know, dude.
Bodie foe.
8 for 15 from 3. So, anyways, can't wait to rip those packs.
Yes, we'll get into that. Today we're going to talk Blazers. Couple wins, ended a losing streak. So we'll talk little Zers. We actually got into a great conversation, the three of us, in a text chain that we thought we'd bring onto the podcast on a conversation of, is LaMelo Ball a superstar? So we'll talk about that. And your favorite segment, I know your favorite segment, we're going to do most butt. We will crown our most butt team, the starting five. It's been a minute. So we'll get into that. And then we're going to rip open that pack that Ryan just showed you. We have 2 hangers to rip open at the end of the show. So stick around.
And maybe even a blaster. This is what I was going to open originally, Doze. But then the hangers came into play last night.
What
Shout
a
out
treat.
Doze.
What a treat.
So maybe if time permits, if not, we can always
Would
save
you
it
look
for,
at that?
for
Just
next
look
week.
at it.
So these retail for 20. I paid 80 for this
Oh
guy.
my God.
Hell yeah, dude. That's a
So
steal.
it's insane. It's insane. Like,
What a treat.
I'm not into flipping wax, like sealed wax, like most people are. I like to rip it, but my God, getting a 4x return on your investment like that.
Some kid
Yeah.
was at Target.
Good for you guys. Like, I respect those people. I mean, I don't, but I get it. I
We
get
hate
why they
those
resell it. Yeah.
Bad vibes.
Oh man,
Different
what a
kind of
treat.
racks.
What a treat, Ryan! It's Father Christmas brought us some cards to open. I don't know why I said that. Let's before we get
It was
into
good.
that. There's a lot of NBA news to jump in on, and I don't want to spend a ton of time doing that because a lot of other podcasts are talking about the news, and we want to have a little more fun than that and get into some discussions. But I do want to throw you guys some topics and just get your quick reactions. I didn't prep you guys for this.
Yeah,
'cause
none of the agendas.
I just wanted to get just some raw reactions. So I've titled this "Smoke or Joke." So is this something where these are kind of all?
Ooh, that's
good.
good.
Maybe people having some beef, or were they kind of kidding? So first one, smoke or joke. The Utah Jazz players went last. Both Rudy Gobert and Donovan Mitchell went respectively second to last and last in the All-Star game draft by LeBron and Durant last night. Were they throwing a little smoke at the Jazz, or was it all just good fun, laughs and jokes? What do you guys think? Ryan, what do you think?
I think it was a good fun. I don't see any reason for the Jazz players to have any kind of rivalry with the rest of the NBA. You know, they're right now kind of the new kids on the block in terms of being in the top seed in the West. And maybe it's because of that. Maybe it's simply because of envy, right? Like, you're in the position that we all wish we were in as far as being the best team record-wise in the NBA. But I don't take if I'm them, I don't take offense to it. I think honestly they're kind of poking the bear a little bit. So I'm curious to kind of see what Gobert and Mitchell do in the All-Star game to kind of see how they respond.
True. Mike, what do you think? Was it all just fun, or do you think there's a little hidden smoke in there?
I think there might be hidden smoke because I think Donovan Mitchell could have probably got picked ahead of a couple dudes. Gobert, that's fine. He was last pick. I could see that.
Yeah. It was pretty funny. LeBron was like, let's see. There were 3 picks left: Gobert, Donovan, and Sabonis. And LeBron's like, I need some size. And he picked Sabonis. And he picked Sabonis, who's like 6'4", when there's freaking 8-foot tall Stifle Tower in there.
I think there was a little bit of smoke, and then it got me thinking. I was like, do they not like those dudes? Like, are they just not liked in the NBA? I couldn't see why they would be or wouldn't be, but got me thinking.
Yeah,
got the conspiracy theorists out.
LeBron actually, his reasoning was, and this brought me back to NBA Jam. His reasoning was, he goes, when we were kids, no one picked the Jazz. Even with Stockton and Malone, no one picked the Jazz in video games. And I immediately thought of you two, because you two run with Malone and Stockton and NBA Jam like it's the greatest basketball team of all time.
It's the best duo in
objectively.
NBA Jam.
It is the best duo in NBA Jam. You got the 3, and you got the boards and the dunks.
Clearly, LeBron doesn't know anything about NBA Jam. He doesn't want it.
No.
So, smoke or joke. Yesterday, Kristaps Porzingis unfollowed the Dallas Mavericks on Instagram, and rumors are now that he will be traded come the trade deadline. Does Porzingis want the smoke and he's out, or is it all just good fun? Mike, what do you think?
I don't think he wants out. No, I don't think he wants out. I don't know why players do that though. If they know what kind of news it's going to bring, like, why do they do that? Yeah. Maybe they weren't posting about him enough, but he's been cheeks this year, so it's it kind of makes sense why they haven't. Yeah. He's a little bitter.
What do you think?
Ryan? They probably don't follow him back.
Shout out Aaron.
Yeah. Shout out Mo. So yeah, I think for me with Porzingis, I think he's been hurt most of the season. You know what I mean? Like he hasn't been fully healthy. I think there's smoke to that. You know, a lot of times you see players unfollow their teams or teammates. That kind of foreshadows a larger issue. I think that may be happening within the locker room. You know, in the front office. So it's petty for sure to kind of have him be the sharing it like that with his fans. That, hey, look, this is my ticket out. But maybe it's just a sign of things to come. And he's been on the trading block. It feels like every year since he's been in the NBA. And I feel bad for the guy because I'm a big fan of his. I think he's a heck of a player. Just been, you know, riddled with injuries the last 3 or 4 years. So I think it's some smoke for sure. I'm always just curious, where would he go next? You know, what team is, you see Griffin and Drummond, right? Two guys who cannot or could not get out of their franchise without a buyout. So is there not a market for, you know, front court centers like him? You know, I don't know. Maybe there's not. Maybe it's kind of a buyout situation for guys like that, or maybe it's just a weird coincidence. So I'm curious to kind of see what the future holds for him.
I want to know, man, who's noticing that? Like who's checking Chris? Is it the Mavs social media manager that notices it and just puts him on blast, or is it some media guy
like,
every day?
Oh shit, guys.
Yeah.
You can follow
they have one of those apps that like tracks who unfollows you and all that stuff. I don't know, man.
They probably do.
I think there's probably a little smoke to that. All right, last one. Alex Caruso declined participation in the dunk contest. Do you think that's out of fear, or do you think Alex Caruso actually wants to smoke and could win a dunk contest, or is he just a joke and not going to win, not able to win something like that, and he knows it? What do you think, Mike? Caruso dunk contest.
I think he could win. No, I think he could win. I don't know why he didn't accept it. Maybe he thinks he's already big time now. It's kind of like that cult following of Alex Caruso fans. And maybe he just needs the rest. Maybe LeBron's like, dude, we don't do dunk contests. We rest. We're about the finals. Alex is like, yes, sir, Mr. LeBron.
Totally. Yes, sir.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, I don't know, man. All right, last one. Ryan, for you. Smoke or joke? Oh, go ahead. What are you going to say?
I was going to say, I think it's kind of I don't think he wants that smoke, to be honest with you. I mean,
I agree.
Let's take a second and really consider all the dunks that we've seen from him, and they've all just been putbacks.
They're all just the same.
Right?
Right here.
One-handers, right, and they're awesome, right? Because he usually does it over the back of somebody else. But I would question, does he have the creativity to win a dunk contest? And I would probably say no. I could see Anthony having a way better output than Caruso. You know, you always see guys that are hyped up, right? Like a Caruso, and they get to the dunk contest and they miss all their dunks. And they end up doing like a 360 just to kind of before time expires. So I feel like he'd be a letdown. And I think let's keep him safe. Let's keep him in the one-handed dunk off rebound column and let him live.
He's a good in-game dunker.
Yeah. But I don't think I've never seen him on a fast break. I've never seen him do anything crazy like that. And maybe it's just because I don't watch enough of him. But I just know all the highlights I'm thinking of against the Nets, against the Nuggets, even against Lonzo, you know, and a couple of years ago. It just there's no excitement to it. It's more just to get you hyped. But would he get a 50? Probably not.
Probably not. 50s are a little too easily handed out, though. But
agreed.
Hot take, though. 90% of 360 dunks are actually just 180s. Guys that basically turn around before
it was a 360.
Before they turn almost halfway around before they even jump, and then they say it's a 360.
I know,
that's
they're
one
like
of my biggest. That's one of my biggest pet peeves.
They dunk it and then they continue turning.
Yeah. Anyway, smoke or joke? I don't know. It kind of came to me. I think I was on the toilet or something yesterday. It came to me, and I thought I'd throw it in there. So, smoke or joke? Maybe we'll keep it for future things. Maybe not.
Probably look down and say, "Whoa, that's a joke," and look back at it. I'm with you, man, 100%.
Hey, he don't want no smoke.
Lucky you can see it.
All right, let's move on before this gets any dirtier. Let's talk Blazers. Let's talk Blazers for just a few minutes. And Mike, I'm gonna throw it over to you. Blazers have had very up and down stretches. It seems like one week they win all their games, the next week they lose all their games, and they've had a couple wild road trips. And but they've won 2 in a row, beat the Warriors, beat the Kings last night, who had just come off a good win against the Lakers. Dame put up a 40 ball, Enos 2020. So Mike, what are you seeing from the Blazers right now? We're at the All-Star break. Give me a quick diagnosis.
Well, they won 3 in a row now. Someone called that an official win streak after losing 4, which Ryan brought up a good point. Those 4 games that they had on the road, minus the Wizards game against Phoenix, at Denver, at LA, at the Lakers, were going to be like the biggest test for them. And, I think they kind of just ran out of gas after like the 6-game win streak. Dame had exerted a shit ton of energy, and rightfully so in those games prior. But it was a good bounce back to end kind of the first half of the year. And I know we talked about this a ton back when CJ and Nurk went down, was if they can just stay 500, that'll be great. And then they went on the winning streaks, and we're like, this is all just icing on the cake. Now they're 7 games, I think, over 500. And they're kind of just thriving without CJ and Nurk. And I think they probably positioned themselves in like it's like a more than perfect situation than what they could have imagined when they saw Nurk and CJ go out. I think they're finally starting to figure out, like, guys like Derek Jones Jr. and Rocco and even Melo to an extent, of like where they fit in the offense and like how guys play. They're starting to understand like where to be on the floor, what spots, where Dame likes to get the ball. And like people are finding Derek Jones Jr. on the baseline, like where he likes to hang out. And he's been just getting 8 to 10 points off that, which is huge down the stretch of winning these games and takes a lot of pressure off Dame. The younger players are getting a ton of run, a lot of confidence stepping up. Like, it seems like every young guy that the Blazers put in, like whether it's Ant or Nas, like they're actually contributing in some sort of way. They're not just like a CJ Ellaby, sorry, CJ, where everything goes to shit as soon as they touch the floor. And it's interesting because the Blazers for the second half of the year have, I think, like the 5th hardest schedule. So it's going to be pretty tough. But the sooner that they can get Nurk and CJ back and get them back into like game shape and actually performing, maybe not to the level that they were because CJ was going off, but they're in a prime position going into like the thick of their schedule to like really have a chance at that like 4 seed in a meaningless home court advantage here, but they could lock up home court. I can see it for sure.
Yeah. I think I was actually very surprised to see that this is the best record we've had at the All-Star break in like 6 years.
It's crazy.
And I was very surprised to see that. Guys have definitely stepped up. It's been, a wild ride to the first half of the season. But Ryan, I as our probably most unbiased Blazer source in here, but maybe a little biased the other direction. With CJ,
so true.
With CJ and Nurk, maybe they're scheduled to come back fairly soon. The Blazers sitting, in that 5 seed right now, but again, just 2 games out of the 9 seed and 2 games out of the 2 seed. It's a very Western Conference we know is close. With CJ and Nurk coming back, what do you see as the potential ceiling for the Blazers in the second half?
Yeah, I think things are going to get super weird in the West. I mean, just last episode we were talking about the Jazz winning the West, and I still feel pretty confident that they will. But yeah, Phoenix kind of silently kind of surging up the standings. Now they're second.
Yeah.
2 games behind, or 2.5 games behind Utah. I think bringing back Nurk and CJ it's time. Like, I think the role players have been maxed out as far as the most they can do. I think Melo's done a hell of a job the last few games, stepping up, getting 20 plus points, really kind of showing why he's one of the best to play in the NBA in the last few decades, just showing his leadership and his confidence. So I do think Melo is going to have a very pivotal role. I wouldn't be surprised if you see Melo in the starting lineup by season's end. I don't know why. I just have this weird feeling that he's going to find himself back into that situation, which if he does, he's kind of showing why he deserves it. But I can see the Blazers being a top 4 seed by end of the season. I really can. I'm not high in the Clippers. I never will be. I think the Lakers with AD out, when he comes back, they're going to be legitimate again. Even without AD, they're still a very, very good basketball team. But I could see the Blazers kind of getting into that 4th seed. I could also see the Suns digressing a little bit. So it's going to be a weird ending. But that 4-5 matchup in the West is going to be insane. Whoever's in that 4-5 matchup, that's going 100p. And I'm here for it, man. I'm here for it. And those 4 or 5 games or matchups always are pretty exciting every year, East or West. But this year especially, I could see that 4-5, the winner of that matchup. I could see them going to the Western Conference Finals, if not the Finals, because that's going to be a very competitive team. If you can get out of that first round, then you're on to something. And I would love to see Portland, ideally not in that matchup, because I think there's a lot of dangerous matchups.
Might be against the Lakers.
So, but who knows? Who knows? But I do think the Blazers have a really good end of the season ahead of them, especially if they're healthy. If they're healthy, Gary Trent's kind of going in the wrong direction right now. That guy shoots a ton.
He's jacking him up. His percentage
is killing me to watch that, dude.
I love Gary.
Check from tip off, man.
Gosh, I love Gary, man. He had a good start to the year, but his percentage.
I can't rip on him, man. I can't rip on him. He's got a couple bad games in a row, so I'm not going to be like, "Whoa, dude, Gary, what are you doing, man?"
He knows what he's playing for. Like, he knows it's bigger than this season for him, and it's clear.
It's like about money.
100%. So, I mean, if he can continue to get back to where he was, earlier this season into last season, then, like I said, I do have a weird feeling that Carmelo's going to find himself in the starting lineup. He's just been playing pretty well off the bench. But then again, would that mess up the flow of things? Maybe, and who would he take out, right? Like whose spot would he take, right? You'd have Nurk, CJ, Dame,
either Rocco or Jones, but they need defense, and Melo does not have that.
Melo, I will say though about Melo is in crunch time, he steps up on the defensive end. He seems 100%. to make the right deflection or something, like right place, right time in crunch time on the defensive end a lot, and that's probably just veteran instinct. But he's certainly valuable in the fourth quarter.
With all these critics that are like, oh, these guys don't play defense, blah, blah, blah. It's like they know how to play defense just situationally, like when they have to. They know how to do it, just like the Nets basketball team. It's like you play defense for enough possessions and you're going to win a game.
Yeah, pick and choose your battles, pick and choose. I mean, we can't for sure. We can't – and obviously we can't say enough about Dame. The dude's putting together MVP case after MVP case.
Jeez, man.
That kill dribble, I think Lamar Hurd called it the kill dribble, where he pounds it one and then fades away left, is almost like his go-to move, and you can't stop it. It's nasty. He hit 2 huge threes last night, even adding to his average of clutch time baskets, league leading average of whatever, 6 points a game. But yeah, Dame's a beast. Berzer, hanging in there. They're going to only get better, you hope. So, let's look it up.
It kills me to see, just real quick about Dame. I mean, he's obviously having an MVP caliber season, but defensively, if I'm guarding Dame, I was watching the Warriors game, especially the end when he hit that 3 to take the lead. Bazemore had his hands down to his ankles. And I saw Steve Kerr on the sideline kind of putting his hands up, right? Like, contest the motherfucker. And Dame has a little bit of like a lower release, relatively speaking, compared to most NBA players. He kind of launches it from like right here, more or less. I'm not saying it's blockable, but it definitely is. If you're a bigger defender, you have a chance to contest that and make that a difficult shot for him, despite Dame having an incredible rainbow arc. But guys have their hands down on Dame all the time. When are they going to learn?
Yeah,
especially in the fourth quarter. God, you guys want to lose, don't you? You guys are playing to lose, obviously. If you don't want to turn your hand down,
it's the classic saying,
hands down, man down.
Yes, thank you.
So, I just saw, but Kerr was like this, and Bazemore, who's normally a good defender, was literally just not taking him serious. And Dame's like, motherfucker, on me.
Yeah. And if you're trying to put your hand up once that kill dribble's happening, it's too late. You almost got to. You got to just do that super,
because he's fading away at that point.
You got to have that super annoying thing where your hand is just like in his face. I know the NBA tried to outlaw that for a while, but
that's so lame.
It is. It frustrates the hell out
of me. I love it. I actually
more
coach up my players to kind of wherever the ball's at, you kind of have your hand opposite of the ball at all time, right? And or if they go to shoot it, kind of give them a little poke in the gut. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man, we're fighting. We're fighting for sure. All right, let's move on. I want to pull up. I don't know if I can scroll far enough back in our text thread, but we had a good conversation about LaMelo Ball because Ryan, on behalf of the HoopRipz social page, called LaMelo Ball a superstar. And Mike, from his own social page, responded and said, not true. So let's talk about this. let's give it 5-10 minutes. But I want to, because I really want to get to most but, and I really want to get to ripping packs. So let's talk about LaMelo.
True.
Is LaMelo Ball a superstar?
Can I just give my definition of what I meant by that?
Yes.
I do
we do need that for sure.
It's caused a lot of confusion.
Pull out the soapbox, Ryan. We could have this a segment. This is like Kenny running to the monitor. This is Ryan soapbox time.
Oh no! Look, and I'll say this, and I'm not going back on what I said. I think obviously, when you say superstar, you think of LeBron and Kevin Durant. You know what I mean? Like we know what a superstar is. For me, I think the definition of a superstar is super subjective nowadays, and it really is defined kind of by fans. And what I mean by that is LaMelo Ball has always been kind of a phenom, I guess is a better way to put it, and a celebrity since he was fucking in diapers, right? Just given his family and all the hoopla around him. And so I think for what LaMelo Ball brings to the league, and just the overall game of basketball in the U.S., I think he brings a lot of notoriety. And, wherever he goes, he has this really strong, passionate cult following. I was looking just online just because I remember reading this earlier this season. But as of February 16th, as far as most popular NBA jersey sales, LaMelo Ball was number 1 in the NBA to date. And then Steph Curry was 2, LeBron was 3rd, KD was 4th, Russ was 5th, surprisingly ahead of Luka, Giannis.
New team.
So exactly. So all that to say is, I think LaMelo Ball has this superstar aura about him. Has he accomplished anything yet? No. He had a really good month in February. He's having a really good, start to March as well. A lot of people respect him and stuff like that. But I do think he is a superstar in terms of just his overall presence in the league and on the court, and he brings a lot of awareness to the game that I think the NBA needs. I would challenge you guys and say, well, what is the criteria of a superstar, right? Because you look at Kyle Lowry, won a championship for Toronto, right? One of the higher paid players. Is he a superstar? You look at Zach LaVine, who's a baller. I would say Zach LaVine is a borderline superstar, but he's been on losing teams his whole career. I don't think he's been to the playoffs once, nor has he won a championship. So it's like, what credentials do you need to be a superstar, right? Obviously, the LeBrons and the KDs are their MVPs and champions, but I don't know. I think superstar to me has a lot of different ways you can go with it. I think LaMelo is just one because he brings such popularity to the game, and it's fun to see that. But he's not even close to being in the same league as far as skill wise as those other guys. But to me, he's a star when it comes to basketball.
That's fair. That's fair points. I think, Mike, I want to throw it over to you and hear your thoughts on this.
So that makes a lot more sense. And I always considered celebrity status or popularity, marketability in the realm of being a superstar, because it absolutely plays a role in it. And I think, to Doza's point, that superstar status in the league, I think it's given by fans a lot, but it's also given by former players that are analysis and all this stuff, news outlets. And I think it's given out too easily. I think there should only be a handful of superstars in the league, the top 5, top 7 players in the league. And then from 8 to 15 to 20, those players are just bona fide stars.
Yeah, your stars.
They're your stars. And there's no doubt about it. You Kyle Lowry, he's a star. He has, to Ryan's point, he has the accolades of, finals, multiple all-stars. He might have been on an all-NBA team or all-defensive team at some point.
He was.
But he doesn't have the marketability. So he lacks that aspect of becoming a superstar. I don't know what the ratio of what are your accolades and your skill, and you have to have some sort of popularity. I don't know where that lies, if it's 80% skill, 20% marketability. But I agree. I agree on LaMelo. He's definitely got the marketability, the popularity, all that stuff. He already has that coming into the league. And I don't think he's a superstar now, obviously, because he doesn't have the skills now, or the personal team accolades, all the stuff, leading a team to the playoffs. He's going to win Rookie of the Year, so he's going to have that on his trophy shelf. But he doesn't have an All-NBA appearance, an All-Star appearance. He definitely will, by the way he's playing. So I just think that people need to weigh the skills and like on-court success more than the
I'd
fame
argue
off the court.
Yeah, I'd argue LaMelo probably has the skills right now. I think he's proven it. He's even at least in the past month what he's been doing. Ryan, you kind of shared some of his stats, but he's put up basically MVP level numbers over the past month. And I think my biggest thing on a superstar is you got to have one MVPs, or at least maybe one or two. You got to be in the finals or Western Conference, Eastern Conference finals year after year. You got to have done it for a decade. Like I agree. I think the superstar word should be a little bit more cautious to throw around. In my opinion, it's like LeBron, Giannis, KD, Steph, Harden, like those are your superstars. And then you got guys like Dame and Kyrie that are like trying, like basically on that borderline. Luka, like those guys.
I would say Luka's a superstar because
I would argue that as well.
And it's crazy because I never thought, year 3, I think in the NBA. So I didn't mean to cut you off, Joe, but I would say, man, it's like Dame too. I would say Dame is like, he's been not begging, but his game has been demanding respect to be a superstar for who knows how long. And I think the marketability point Mike brought up is a good point, and in the market they're in. Like he's in Portland, right? And you're not in LA, right? You're not in San Fran if you're Steph or New York if you're Harden and Kyrie and Durant. So I think that plays a big factor into it all. But anyways, I do think it's a good point, Does, about the accolades and being repeated in terms of conference finals and having that kind of success.
Yeah. It's interesting. We could talk about this all day long, and let us know if you're listening. Let us know, is Luka a superstar in your book, or what's your definition of a superstar? Let us know. I think to me, it's kind of like the dunk contest. The judges throw out 50s way too easily, and a 50 should be like, I'd never seen that in my life. And a superstar should be like, this guy's global level. But I would love to hear what our listeners think. But we're going to move on.
Well, Doze, I want to ask one question to you guys, though, because now this topic's very, very obviously we can talk about it for days. But for example, kind of going back to Carmelo Anthony, at one point I think he was a superstar. So my question to you guys is a superstar status, is it permanent? Once a superstar, always a superstar, or does it fall off after a certain amount of seasons or based off your role with the team? Because I would say Russ was a superstar. I can't. I struggle to say he is now. Maybe because he's kind of at the end of his prime, which is crazy to think about. But I don't know. Like, what do you guys think? Do you think once you're a star, always a star?
No, I think you answered your own question in terms of like you can be a superstar at some point in your career for multiple years, but like Melo, he just got old and kind of fell off. Obviously, he doesn't have the same role as he used to. Same with Westbrook. So I think you can reach superstar status. You might be, once you reach that status, you might be given some leeway in terms of like how long it takes to fall off that level. Russ might have fallen off faster than others, but I think you can definitely digress back to just a star, because Russ is still a star. Carmelo is still a star, probably just because of his name, not because of his performance.
I'd maybe argue the other side. I think if you're a guy, maybe even at the end of your career, and maybe your game isn't what it used to be, and like Melo and Russ are perfect examples. If you're a guaranteed Hall of Famer, like those two guys probably are, I think you're still a superstar. And I don't think that's the case for everybody. I think if you're not a guaranteed Hall of Fame, I don't know. Again, we could talk about this all day, but certainly their game on the court has fallen maybe out of superstardom, but those guys still are going to demand a presence. They're still going to, walk into a room and be top jersey sit. Like they're still going to be faces of the league. So I don't know. I think, maybe they're not faces of the league anymore, but it's a good conversation.
One time they were, though.
Yeah, one time they were. We talked about it last episode. Prime Melo was freaking badass. So, yeah, I don't know. On the other side of the coin, the most butt team. Let's talk about it. Let's go to there. The exact opposite of superstar. It is that time, most butt, everyone's favorite segment. That was a good one. So let's do it. You know how we do this. Ryan and I will usually give 2. Mike will pick his Blazer butt of the week or 2 weeks or whatever, so however long it's been since our last one.
Like 2. Yeah.
We're going to do it. We're going to name our picks. So, Ryan, why don't you take us away? Your first of 5, our first place on the all but team for this week. Let's hear it. Who's your pick?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of candidates, man. I had to talk to a lot of people, to see who would qualify. But this guy could qualify week after week. I'm surprised we haven't brought him up yet. Maybe we have. Maybe we've done so many episodes as I lose track. But I would say in those, I shout out you in this one because you brought this up about the Rockets having a 13-game losing streak. PJ Tucker, man, that guy is just been straight ass. Like, that's worse than straight cheeks. I mean, not only is he one-dimensional in terms of being like a 3 and D player, their teams, they're getting blown out. So he's not even playing fucking defense. And that's what he's there for, right?
They lost by 50 to the Grizzlies.
It's insane. It's truly insane. He had 1 point in that game. 1 point, 5 rebounds, 2 turnovers, and even against Brooklyn, he has 0 points. And he played 32 minutes. And it's not based off points, but man, that guy was
and it's not like they have other weapons.
That's the thing. If you're not I tell my players this all the time, like, look, if your shots aren't going in on offense, well, make sure that the guy you're guarding on defense, his shots don't go in too, right? But PJ is actually helping this guy score more. It's like he's lifting him up. Like, here, Chief.
Man, you need a dunk?
Bro,
yeah,
your legs hurt? Honestly, I got you.
We could have all picked Rockets on this week, man. I mean,
yeah,
that's a good pick. Guys, a 13-game losing streak, it's not unheard of. The longest losing streak ever is 28 games in the NBA.
Oh, wait, who was that? Let's figure it out.
Was that recent? That had to be recent.
That was probably – was that the Bobcats? No.
The Sixers lost – The Sixers lost 28 games in 2015 and 2016.
That sounds
so relatively recent.
That was the
process. Yeah, right.
It was actually over 2 seasons. So the end of the 2015 season, they lost, and then they started the next season losing their first 18 games. They were 0. They finished the season on a 10-game losing streak, and then started the next season on going 0-18. So it ended up being kind of
pick up where you left off, honestly.
And about PJ Tucker, he is known for being like the sneakerhead in the NBA. Motherfucker, you are not worthy to wear any of those sneakers if you're going to put up these kind of numbers.
That's fact.
Especially the Kobe's, right? Like,
the dude in the
my God.
It's that kid in the flashiest shoes that's just straight cheeks, bro. Like, come on, man.
Yeah. You got to put the best shoes on the best players. Like, no one's going to care. People, but obviously maybe he does it on purpose so people overlook his stats and focus on his fashion. So, PJ Tucker, straight.
Good chick.
Ash.
Harsh. Good pick. All right, I'll go next. Mostly because I have another Rocket, and this is something that, we just said it. The Rockets could occupy this probably entire roster right now. But for me, Daniel House Jr. over the past 4 games, his plus minus is -99. So the Rockets have been outscored by 100 points when he's on the court. So he hasn't been very good either. Similar to PJ Tucker, just been absolute crappy. Some of these guys, House has had times in this career where he's been decent and been a serviceable role player, and this is an opportunity for him to step up. With I think Oladipo and Wall have been sitting out every once in a while with some soreness and things like that. So it's kind of an opportunity to show what you can do, and these guys have just been absolutely awful. And I don't think it's coincidence that this 13-game losing streak is the exact number of games that Christian Wood has been injured. They haven't won since he's been on IR. So they miss his presence for sure. PJ Tucker running the 5 is not a good look for them. They miss Christian Wood, and Daniel House has been absolutely terrible. So he's my pick. 2 Rockets in this list is not a surprise. You're on a 13-game losing streak. You're lucky we don't pick 5 of you guys. Yeah. All right, Mike, give us a Blazer, man. We had a 4-game losing streak, so there's certainly somebody that's got to be on this list.
A lot to choose from.
There is. Well, I actually thought there wasn't a lot to choose from because I was like, all right, he had a bad game this game, but then he was good the next game. And like Doe said, I have to pick a Blazer, and there's certainly way more butt players throughout these 2 weeks throughout the NBA. So I hate to do it. And this is his second time, I think, on the most butt team. I think Ryan might have brought him up, or he's been advocating for me to put him in the starting 5.
Dang.
I have to put Rodney Hood.
Again.
Dave. Is it Dave? No, it's I put Rodney Hood, man, because the last 10 games he's 27% from 3, and he's averaging 5 points a game. But But the thing is, I'll say this about Rodney. I'm just gonna,
hates it.
Compliment sandwich this. Hate on him, give him some positive and then negative again. But his shot has looked good. He's showing like more consistency in his movement and being able to like elevate on his jumper from what I've seen. He's like a lot quicker on the post where he likes to post up smaller defenders when he's got mismatches. But he just hasn't been able to finish those shots, and he's been missing consistently. And you just hate to see it because I think Ryan doesn't think so, but I think Rodney Hood is a serviceable role player in the NBA. And
you root
his
for
shot's
him,
just
man.
not there this year.
You want to see him do well, and he's actually, I think he had a couple games ago that actually was pretty solid.
5-minute spurts, man.
Oh my gosh, dude! My wife Hannah just texted me and said most butt Zer should be Zach Collins for his haircut.
Oh, dude, it's brutal. Oh, dude, it's so brutal, man.
I'm glad we brought this up, Hannah. Thank you. But he honestly looks like a Boy Meets World character. He looks like Sean from Boy Meets World.
The middle part,
like the middle part, like it looks so bad. But
he had the Portland gear on the other night. You saw that?
He did have Portland gear last night.
Shout out Dose.
Bro, his hair is so bad. It's like guy's been injured for so long, he just doesn't even know what to do with himself anymore.
He's bored.
So mad you check your email? Yeah,
he's bored as crap. All right, Rodney Hood, hate to do it to you, man, but you're on the most butt team. Hopefully you pick it up. The Rockets will probably go on a 10-game win streak now that they've got named to most butt. So, Ryan, who's your next pick for most butt?
I agree with Mike, though. I think Rodney Hood, I will agree that he could be a serviceable role player, but he doesn't want to be one. Like, it's his effort when he's a starter is night and day different off the bench. He, wants it so much more when he's in that starting five. We all want to start. Trust me. But only 5 starters on a team, man. You got to embrace the role you're given. I put Tyler Hero on my list. Just based off this week. Now, he's had a decent season, averaging 16 points on the season. But the last 3 games, he's averaged 24% from the field shooting. He had 2 points last night, I think, against the Pelicans, right? Which they still won. But he's been shooting straight cheeks from the field. And I feel bad for the guy because I'm a big fan of his. Both, when it comes to basketball and the card collecting standpoint. But overall, he needs to be better. He needs to be more consistent. He are exactly at 500 on the season. And I think Hero has a big role in the sense of getting them over the hump. He had a great bubble last year, but he's been wildly inconsistent, kind of in that sophomore slump a little bit where he has 27 one game and he has 5 the next game, right? He even had a play a couple weeks ago against the Clippers. You guys see that when he tried to sneak in a practice free throw because he thought that there was a substitution going on, and he missed it. And he was so shook. And I'm like, dude, that was most.
Hey man, you're a starter.
Yeah, dude.
Hey, welcome to the butt team.
Yeah, so now I don't want him to be on this list ever again. But he's averaging less than 5 points the last few games, and that's not him. He's an offensive threat, kind of a poor man's Devin Booker as far as scoring from anywhere in the court. Both went to Kentucky, ironically, but I do see a lot of similarities in their game. Obviously a huge gap, but I do see a lot of same kind of moves and jump shots, stuff like that. So anyways, Tyler Hero, most butt this week. Sorry, Chief. Hate to see it.
Good pick. Man, can you imagine Devin Booker, but with Tyler Hero's attitude? It'd be interesting. All right, last one. Bring it home. Got to get a big man in there. Although maybe PJ Tucker
needs some size.
PJ Tucker's a center, but not height. So I'm getting some height in here. Miles Turner on the Indiana Pacers. Welcome to the most butt team. Yes, you do average freaking 4 blocks a game, but that's about all you do. The Pacers have had their worst stretch of the season. At one point, I think we praised the Pacers early on in this podcast as they were like second. They were like 3rd or 2nd in the East. They were very competitive.
Top 15 for sure.
They've now fallen into, I think, 9th or 10th in the Eastern Conference. Miles Turner is 7 feet tall. He has single-digit rebounds in 4 of their last 5 games. He's averaging only 6 rebounds a game. For a 7-footer, that's unacceptable. Yes, you have Sabonis, who's a rebounding machine, but dude, you're 7 feet tall. Okay, here's another stat. I'm the stat guy.
Rebounding's effort, so he's a try not to rebound then.
Half of his shots come from the 3-point line. being a 7-footer. Half of his shots come from the three-point line, and he's only shooting 30% on 3 this season. So he's a big dude shooting threes really poorly, not rebounding, and it's just not working. So Miles Turner, you're 7 feet tall.
That's a recipe for butt, man.
Yeah. Welcome to the most butt team.
Basketball.
Never had a butt cake.
All right, that's most butt. That's our favorite. I mean, I love most butt, man. Daniel House Jr.,
What?
Miles Turner, PJ Tucker, Tyler Hero, Rodney Hood. Pick it up, boys, and dust yourself off. You know, I know it hurts to be on the most butt team, but we love you. We hope for the best. Make your way off the team, and maybe you can be a superstar or a star or whatever else besides butt. But it's it's time, Ryan. Ripping packs. It's time to pull a freaking blue.
Can we do like
reactive,
some what's it called? ASMR or something? Do it like right at the microphone so we can hear the packs, dude.
Yeah,
you want me to
that's the best.
Pull audio on it?
I don't know.
Let's
Whatever
do it, man.
best.
Let's rip a couple hangers, and wrap this thing up. This has been a fun show, but it's time to. Oh, we got 2 Ryans in the feed, bro. Look at this.
You do.
You got to mute one.
You got to mute one, right?
Mute one.
Got it.
Okay. Wow.
I
Look at this
figured,
viewing experience.
Shout out, Des. Got my little Abe Sports Card placemat here.
Hang on. Turn the volume down on one of them. Oh, he's got to put the OJ gloves on.
Wait, I muted myself.
I think you're good now.
Okay. But let's see the gloves, man. Listen to those gloves.
One of my buddies sent me these after I put on some of my wife's gloves that she uses to dye her hair. And they were like size small, and it looked horrible. It was not good for the. So he's like, "Hey man, I got you." He's a tattoo artist. Shout out Tyler, great bro, one of the best. So a box of large tattoo black gloves.
Why are you putting those on? Tell us why you're putting those on.
Well, great question, Dozer. First of all, how are you? Hope you're good. Second of all, I put the gloves on.
He's good.
He's good. I'm just good.
Good.
I put the gloves on for a couple reasons. One, because I have sweaty hands by nature. It's crazy. I got swans. Okay. Second of all, you want to protect. No, I don't. Nope, that's not true. And also, you want to protect the cards. Obviously, if you pull some absolute heaters, you want to make sure there's no fingerprints, no smudges. They got to be perfect. If you want a 10, you got to make sure you give a 10 effort. You know what I'm saying? When you unpack these shit. So, got our right here some NBA Hoops premium stock hangers, the inaugural edition 1920 season. So this is last year's rookie class. Looking for the Jaws and the Zions, the Ruiz, despite he could be most butt. Like I thought about it, but because I collect them, I'm not gonna fucking do that to him, yo. I'm not gonna body my boy.
I've almost dropped Rui off the fantasy team multiple times, but quick plug before we get into this. If you're listening on Spotify or you're listening on Apple Podcasts and you want to be seeing this live, unboxing, ripping packs, go check out our YouTube, HoopRipz on YouTube. First card is up here. Fast forward to the 47-minute mark, and you'll be able to see the cards we're pulling. We'll try and give them a quick description, but let's get into it. I saw that Jamal Murray is the first one on there, Ryan, so let's get after it.
Yeah, sounds good. So, yeah, we got in these hangers, you got 20 cards per box. We're looking for – they have purple disco prisms, things of that nature. These cards off the rip. This is what Does always joke about. This is Jamal Murray. Although it's reflective, it's not anything special. That's just kind of the base.
That is all of them.
So it is not a silver, my man. I gotta find that shit, dude. That was forever ago, but I still laugh about that. So
some dude opened the pack. Oh yeah, here we go.
Jamal Murray base card that will go into a sleeve at the most. Kent Bazemore. Again, this is all from last season. So he was on the Kings. Draymond Green. Okay, base card for the Warriors.
Come on.
Miles Bridges. I love Miles Bridges. I love him.
Go Green.
This is a base
Go
card.
Right, real man.
Evan Fournier, who's the least clutch player in the NBA.
Least clutch player of all time.
Hey, clutch card, dude.
Mike's favorite player from last season's Blazer team, Hassan Whiteside.
Next on him.
My favorite player of all time, Dylan Brooks.
Not Jimmer. You thought you pulled a Jimmer CBA card.
God, dude, that'd be worth it.
70-point special.
Gorgie Dang. Come on, guys. What are we doing here?
To reiterate,
he was on one of the original podcasts, the first episode when we talked about most overpaid players.
I know it's true. He is. He's on there. So usually the first 10 cards of these hangers are like they're just base veterans. So nothing crazy comes. It's the back half of the box or the pack where you're going to start to see some absolute fire. Willie Cauley-Stein. Now we started getting to the rookies. Okay,
here we
go.
We
got Jalen Leck, base card from the for Phoenix, rookie big base card.
Shout out Riley Brogan.
One of those guys. I know, right? Gosh dang. He's compared to Westbrook athletically, it says on the back of the card, which is insane.
Never heard of him.
Ironically, we just talked about my man, Tyler Hero, base card. Despite being most his prices resell for
people love him.
They do. Oh, fuck yeah. Okay, dude.
Let's go. Let's go.
Okay, it's not even this card. It's the one after that. It's the one after that.
All right, come on.
Yeah.
Zion Williamson, base, right?
It's not this one.
It's not this card. So this is a
Look
base
at that.
tribute
Zion
insert.
rookie card. Ayo.
Oh my fucking God. This next card, bro.
Dude.
This is insane. I wish we had more listeners because this card's going to be worth it.
I wish someone was here to watch this.
I'm going to save it for last. Should I save it for last?
Yeah, save it for last. Save it for last. Save it for last.
Oh my God. Dennis Schroeder.
Oh, my chodies.
Silver. Okay, that's a good card.
Okay,
let's see. Kevin Love. Dude, I'm so shook right now.
Kevin Love.
Kevin Love.
He's like, dude, he's like, Kevin Love.
Dude, it's a good thing you got those gloves on or you'd be just waterfalling out of your swans.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I can't. This might be a top 5 best cards of my life.
That's a good Devin White card. Or Derek White. That's a good card.
Yeah. I'm not sure who Devin is, but Derek's great.
His brother.
We have Dennis Schroeder again, Purple Disco. Sorry, Purple Disco. It's kind of what you're seeing here, little circles you got going on.
Are you actually calling him Schroeder, or do you know what his real name is?
It's Schroeder. It's Schroeder.
Okay.
I have a buddy named Scrodes, Chris Schroeder, and I call him Scrodes.
That sucks.
David, Derek Favors, we'll pull a dose on that one. JJ Redick.
Oh, where is this card?
You said this top
to it. You are flying
top
through
5
these other
of
cards.
all time. Silver Darius Garland, a very good card. Okay, this is an insert. Looks different. The arriving now insert. We have a silver prism parallel.
Wait,
Darius
is this the
Garland.
one?
Nice card. No. It's not the one. This is not the one.
I was
Dang, bro, this was a good ass pack.
Yeah, dude. This next card is probably worth $1,000 as is. I'm not even lying. Not even lying to you.
My chonies.
I'll say this: it's an autograph. Okay, it's an auto, which are extremely rare. It's an autograph.
Oh my god!
And it is Jason fucking Tatum.
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
Future MVP. Look at that card.
Oh my god!
Oh my!
Bro. Jason Tatum autograph. Hoops Inc.
That's
reactive. Cool. Look at that thing, dude.
It's beautiful. That might be the most. That is top 5.
Oh my gosh.
My hands are shaking.
So for those listening, that card right now, we think we could sell it for probably $1,000. If it's graded, meaning we send it to PSA like we talked about last episode, and it gets a 10 out of 10.
To $7,500 graded. This is at least
that card becomes a
that's crazy.
$7,000 card.
I wish I pulled this last night and didn't tell you guys. If I'm being honest with you.
Nah, dude, this is for the people.
Also sharing the cut with all of our viewers too.
I'm so glad we're not doing a giveaway on this one, motherfucker. I would.
Shout out,
Jack. You won.
Yeah, Jack, stay away. Okay, this is insane. Like that card is insane. That was a really solid pack. The Zion, the Garland.
That's crazy, man.
I've never.
Garland looked good.
From the hundreds of these boxes I've
HoopRipz family. You just witnessed big deal right there. Big deal. We got one more.
And this
we got
is
one
why
more to
you
rip
get
into.
addicted because you get a good one and then it's just butt cheeks for the next 60
I'm
packs.
not sure how you
and then you buy another 10,000 of these and they're all.
Hey, another most
Tucker.
butt. What's my most butt this week being in my cards? Get the fuck
so we
out.
got two.
Nice.
We got 2 of 5 most butt players pulled. We need a
Rodney Hood. Give me a
I
Rodney.
pulled a couple Daniel Houses yesterday, so ironically, it's all the guys we've talked about are in our collection. So I'll go through this pretty quick. PJ Tucker base.
PJ Tucker.
Lowry Marketing base.
Ass.
Michael Porter Jr. I love Michael Porter Jr. Okay.
Solid.
Not bad.
Gordon Hayward base. I can't get over his Tatum card. That's like insane. That's insane. Marc Gasol, Raptors base.
Whack.
Terrence Ferguson base. Zach Anus base.
Nice hair, dude.
Free haircut.
Myers Leonard. I can now say Myers Leonard 2.0.
100p. You should have said that a long time ago. Josh Hart base.
Big color.
Okay, now we start getting into the rookies and color variations here. Okay, so we have Quindari Witherspoon. Not bad for the Spurs.
More of a Witherfork guy.
Rajon Rondo. Rajon Wontons.
It's Wayshawn.
Admiral Schofield.
What?
Okay.
That's a name?
The Admiral.
What a badass
Hall of
name.
Famer.
Damian Lillard, tribute insert.
Hey, there you go, MVP. I like the look of that one.
True.
Ooh,
I
no,
love the tribute cards are nice. Yeah, this is good.
They look like got a
silver.
cool 90s vibe. Karl Malone.
Yeah, it kind of has that rainbow hue to it. That's a silver.
Dude, everything we talked about in this episode is
yeah, we talked about the Jazz, NBA Jam, one of the greatest NBA Jam players.
Ooh, and a lot of guys I've been like following on social and people I'm friends with have been collecting the hell out of this guy, Nicholas Claxton.
Gosh, I almost picked him up. He's having a really good couple games. I almost picked him up on fantasy last night.
Dude, people are going crazy about him as far as like collecting right now. Like I see so many posts of like, hey, I'm in search of this guy.
Ooh,
Anthony Simons.
contest. If he wins a dunk contest.
As soon as he wins, sell that thing.
Carson Edwards, Purple Disco. Malik. Oh, my God. Malik Monk, Purple Disco.
Oh, God. He has another good one.
It's not Tatum good, but it's still really, really good.
I can't imagine it is Tatum good.
Deandre Hunter, Purple Disco. I love DeAndre Hunter. I've been collecting a lot of him lately.
That's good.
And then a rookie of it's insert class of 2019, which is awesome because it has a photo of all the first round picks, but it's the hero photo on it is our boy John Morant silver.
Hey, that's cool.
Ooh.
That's a beautiful card. John Morant silver. It's
Number
awesome because if you look closely,
is it numbered? It's numbered, isn't it?
This one's not numbered. No, that's just
okay.
the picture number. Because a lot of Panini usually works with like Getty or AP, and then they kind of like assign a number to each picture variation. The way you can kind of keep track of all the. Some people go out there and they try to collect every John Morant of a particular brand, and they keep track of it by the numbers on the back of the card, so they know kind of what picture variation.
That's cool looking. I like the look of that one.
Yeah, this is a nice one, guys. This is a really nice one. I'm gonna have to leave this one up. So yeah, man, like that's the hangers, man, which is insane. So next week we'll have to open up this this blaster. I'll go ahead and
let's save that for next week. That'll be fun.
Yeah, but wow, that was insane.
Jason Tatum auto. Heck yeah,
pull
guys.
it up one more time for the bros. Wow.
Look at that, dude. We'll get that up on our Instagram so you guys can see it. Check it out. That was fun, man. That we pulled some good cards. We want to do more of this stuff. We want to get you guys involved. We want to do some, openings together. We can. There's Ryan. Why don't you give us the 60-second on kind of how some of these live openings work, and if people want to get involved in the future, they can.
Yeah, so typically, if I'm hosting what's called like a game, we do like live breaks on like Facebook or Instagram, and basically you buy a spot in this break, and each spot is randomly assigned a couple teams, and I'll do a live break of the particular boxes that I've offered up, and for every player I pull that belongs to the two teams that you were assigned, those players get sent to you after that live break. So I've done a bunch of live breaks on our Facebook page where I've done, NFL Prism, I've done NBA Hoops Premium, I've done Prism Draft Picks, and people buy a spot for 10, 15, 20 bucks. And then again, all the players that are assigned to their two teams that I pull, I automatically ship to them for free, top loaded and sleeved. But there's a lot of games out there that you can play, but I think live breaks are the most fun because you just never know what's going to be pulled, and you never know what team you're going to get until right before the live break. Then if you get the Pelicans and the Grizz, my God, and you get a Zion and Ja, then, the $20 you pay for that spot, you made it back in an instant times 20. Right. Like that's what's it's truly a gamble, but that's what makes it fun is you never know what you're going to get until it's pulled. And then from there, it's up to you to figure out how to sell it or keep it or get it graded.
Yep. So we may do some of those. We want to get you guys involved. We love sports cards. The industry is a blast right now. So that was just a first swing at it. We'll get better at how it works and how to get it on social for you guys. But we pulled some good ones today, boys. Good stuff.
That's
Great
insane.
show. Thank you guys for being here. HoopRipz, episode 18. It was fun. See you guys later.
Bye. Are these the ones from Big Lots?